So in this video, I'm going to switch out the spandrel panels in this elevation. So I'm going to switch over to maybe a shaded view. So as you can see, the glass panels in this view are all this kind of bluish color. Let's see if we do consistent colors. I think probably any one of these would work. So let's go back to shaded. So basically what I want to do is create a second type of glass for my spandrel panels. So I'm going to tab until I've selected one, and then I'm going to edit the type, and I'm going to create a duplicate. I'll call it spandrel, maybe glazed spandrel, just so that they stay together, and list, and click on OK. Now, the only thing I'm going to change is the material. So I'll click on where it says glass here, and when I get here, I'm going to duplicate the material. I've just right-clicked, duplicate material and assets. So it's this one called glass 1, and that one I could also rename it to spandrel. Now for the color, I'm going to choose whichever color you like here. I'm going to choose this green color, and let's see if I can scroll over a little bit. Reflectance, sheets of glass. Let's see what happens when I click on tint. Looks like I get some options for RGB. I'm not sure if I don't do anything here, what will happen. It's already got a greenish color. So I'm going to just check and see what this is produce. I'll uncheck it and click on OK. Okay, and apply and OK. Okay, so I have a slightly different color associated with it. I want to see what it looks like when realistic. Okay, doesn't produce much effect here. So I'll go ahead and, basically what I want to do is change out the glass type for all of them in this row, all of them in this row, all of them in the bottom row, and then these vertical ones that are concealing the columns. So I wasn't sure if you could do multiple ones at once. Maybe not able to do that. Edit type. Glazed spandrel. Okay. All right. So that's basically the idea, is to switch all of these out. And you can add more to the selection set. So I'm hitting tab till it locates the panel here. A little temperamental. Anyway, I got 2 of them picked, and I can then go and switch those out. Okay, now you'll have to play around with it to see if you can find some faster way of making those selections. So I had trouble getting this lower right-hand corner one, so I eliminated this bottom mullion and made that just all part of one extended spandrel panel. Up here at the top, we technically don't need this mullion here, so these could come out. Now you still, when you go through here and you try to select them, maybe a little bit of a challenge here. You can also go to the 3D view. So I'll kind of come in here and I set it also to, I think this is the shaded, no, this isn't the shaded. This was the realistic view. You can kind of get a sense of what it might look like. Well, that's not realistic. What was it? Or one of these hidden line consistent colors, doesn't matter really. And continue to go through, maybe slightly easier to select the panels in a different view. So now I've gone through and I've changed all of them. I'm going to double check by going to section 1. Oh, I've got a row here at the bottom, and I think I'm going to eliminate the lowest part in these long skinny ones. It's just too small a piece. So I'll go through and I will pick those spandrel panels. I went ahead and did that lower area there. And I'm going to go to the section and just double check. Okay, so those are the ones that should be assigned the spandrel panels. So on the top, the middle, the bottom, and then in front of the 3 structural columns. Now for the material, I'm under the Manage tab. I'm going to go to Materials, where I had created this spandrel panel. And I'm going to increase the reflectance for that particular area of glass and apply that and say, okay. So when I go to the realistic view, there should be a noticeable difference in the glass types. And the next thing would be to make copies of this curtain wall assembly. Once you've made sure that everything is done correctly, to go ahead and copy it to the 4 sides of the structure. So I'm going to go to level 1. And once there, I am going to click on the curtain wall. You should see it has identified there. I'm going to mirror it. And then I'm going to pick the center grid line here. So you should see that that duplicate has now been created over on the right. Okay. And I'm going to make another duplicate, but before I do that, I'm going to create a diagonal line to serve as my mirror axis. So I'm going to go to the Annotate tab, click on Detail Line, and I'll snap at that intersection there, and then I'll come over to the center column and snap to the intersection there. So now I have this diagonal line that I can use for my mirror line. And when I click on the curtain wall and mirror, I'm going to pick that line. And we should see, if this is done correctly, that these are joining right at that intersection of those mullions. Okay, the last one I need to copy is the one that's on the south side here. Click on it, mirror, and then this time choose the center in the east-west direction. And here we have the 4 facades. Now, obviously, we've only made fixed glass, and if you want to, you could replace some of these out with doors. But again, we are just mostly interested in the structural assembly of this curtain wall structure.